The Szechuan stuffed eggplant recipe serves 4. 1/2 cup lean ground pork. 1 tablespoon soy sauce. Cornstarch as needed for coating. 2 eggs. 1/8 teaspoon white pepper. 3 Japanese eggplants, 6 ounces each. 2 eggs. 1/8 teaspoon salt. 4 cups and 1 tablespoon vegetable oil. 1 teaspoon sesame oil. Seasoning. 1 tablespoon soy sauce. 1 teaspoon dry sherry. 1/2 to 1/4 teaspoon granulated sugar. 2 tablespoons ginger grated. 1 tablespoon garlic minced. 2 teaspoons tapioca powder or cornstarch. 2 tablespoons green onion, white part minced. 1 teaspoon sesame oil. For the sauce for glazing, 1/2 cup chicken stock. 1 tablespoon Szechuan hot bean paste. 2 teaspoons dark soy sauce. 1 tablespoon rice vinegar. 1 tablespoon brown sugar.
Our next dish for today, we are going to do a Szechuan stuffed eggplant. Our stuffing begins with our ground pork, cornstarch, and our soy. We're going to season it with white pepper, salt, a little sesame oil, chopped garlic, chopped ginger, chopped green onions, a little sugar again, a little Shaoxing wine. And here we have the components of our sauce, our finishing product. We have a little brown sugar, a little dark soy. We have our spicy bean curd paste, rice wine vinegar, a little more sesame, a little cornstarch, and our chicken stock. So we're going to begin by getting our pork and our soy. I'm going to add about half of the soy into the pork. And using my fingers, I'm going to mix it up. I'm just mixing it so the soy gets absorbed well into the pork. As you can see, most of it's already absorbed. We're going to add our garlic. Our ginger. Our green onions. I'm going to save just a little bit so I can test the temperature of my oil. Some sugar. And a little of our Shaoxing wine. As you can tell from our ingredients, you see that we've got a little vinegar, we have some wine, some soy, salt, pepper, yeah, and some sugar. You're going to get sweet, sour, spicy already going with us. A little salt. Now right here we just have enough pork that we have enough filling for about one good-sized eggplant, which we have here. Now, if you're in a restaurant situation or you're doing a larger party, obviously you're going to be doing a larger volume of this. This can be made the day before, and you can do it the day before and just refrigerate it until you're ready to stuff your eggplants. And obviously we're going to refrigerate this now while we prepare our eggplants for safety reasons. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to take this and put this in the refrigerator. Be right back. All right, next I'm going to demonstrate how we're going to cut the eggplant. So here we have our Japanese eggplant. I'm just going to take this top off. Now basically we're going to cut about 1-inch thick slices on a diagonal cut. I'm just going to cut a little off the end here. So about 1-inch thick. Little right here. Now once I have these cuts, see, they're all about uniform thickness. Now remember, we always talk about our knife cuts, how we want all our knife cuts to be perfectly symmetrical all the way. And again, because when our knife cuts are same size, our food products will basically cook at the same time. And again, that's what we want. We want consistency in our cooking times. Now with each piece cut like this, I'm going to cut right in the middle, not all the way through. We have, see, I haven't cut all the way through, but yet I can open up just a little bit. So I'm going to do that for all these eggplants. So basically what we're going to do next, I've got the eggplants already. I'm going to get a little cornstarch, which I have here in this bowl. And we're going to brush each eggplant with the cornstarch, inside and out, especially on the inside. And the reason why we're brushing the eggplant with the cornstarch on the inside, because when we get our pork stuffing out from the refrigerator, if you do not coat the insides of the eggplant with the cornstarch, there's a good chance your stuffing will just slide right out. And especially when you're frying it, you want it to stay right in place. All right, so I've got my eggplants all ready to go. I'm going to show you something what we did also. Sometimes your eggplants are really large in diameter, and as you can see, this one, just from the size of it, compared to these, this is a much larger eggplant. But again, we're still keeping with the 1-inch thick theme. Again, I've cut it right through the middle, but not all the way through. Probably about 80% through, again, because we don't want two pieces, we want one piece that opens up just like a clam. Again, the same thing, we would brush it with the cornstarch inside and out. And here, this is the more traditional style where they do it in one piece. You can see basically what we did is almost exactly the same, so we have not cut sections like we did here. We've kept it whole, and basically we've made about 1/4 of an inch slices in between each cut. Just like so. And then we brushed it with the cornstarch between each slice, and we then began to stuff it. I'm just going to put this away right now, and I'll show you the stuffing procedure. But basically, we're going to do the same thing we did with this. You're going to cornstarch it, then we're going to egg it, put an egg batter, and then cornstarch it again. Then we'll begin the frying process. And it begin. Again, it's basically your basic breading procedure where we start with a starch and then an egg wash and then another starch or a coating. All right, I'm going to put this on the side. I'll be right back. We're going to get our stuffing and begin to stuff the eggplants. All right, we have our stuffing ready to go. Before we get to our stuffing, I'm going to show you something. Remember, we have this large eggplant, and although we're about the same size and thickness, what we can do is, if we want to get a little bit more stuffing, is we'll just get our paring knife. We're going to cut out a little from the inside of the each side of the eggplant, just a little indentation. Now, if you want to, obviously, if you want to make a lot of money, you'd leave this, because then that means you'd have less stuffing, as the stuffing costs more than the eggplant. But here, for this demonstration, we're going to do it this way, where we're going to take this out so we can have more stuffing. So we get the cornstarch again, our brush. We're going to brush it. Make sure you coat it very nicely, because remember, anytime you're breading anything, that your first process is when you add your starch to your product, and then you go to the egg. If you don't have sufficient coating of cornstarch on your product, the egg will not stick. And that's why sometimes when you see battered fried things and you see like blank spots, it's because they didn't properly coat the product with flour before they put it into the egg wash. So once that's done, here we go. Okay, so here we're going to get our stuffing again. And here we have a little water in our spoon. It's going to ease in making this look really smooth. So take a little bit of stuffing, probably about a tablespoon. And because the spoon is wet, it's easier to smooth it out. There we go, just like that. Kind of like filling a clam, a stuffed clam, if you will. All right. Again, we're putting about a tablespoon of stuffing in each one. Okay, there we go. Just like that. Now, we have our egg wash. So basically, we're going to dip. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to brush this again with cornstarch. I want to make sure that our coating is nice. So lightly again with the cornstarch. Drop that into our batter. Again. Okay. I'm just making sure the egg's coating everywhere on this eggplant. And because after this egg wash, I'm going to dip it in the cornstarch one more time, and then we'll begin the frying process. So I'm going to let this sit just for a second. I want to check our oil. And like we did previously, we're going to check our oil by dropping in a little green onion into the oil to see how it fries up. And it's sizzling nicely, and I think we're good to go. So let me get that out. All right. Get our eggplants. As soon as my edges start turning golden brown, I'm going to turn these over. There we go. That looks good. These will probably take about 4 minutes to cook. These should have that beautiful texture, like crunchy outside, nice and soft in the middle. And with our sauce, it should be a great combination of flavors and textures. Also, again, when you're frying, anytime you're frying, and don't put a lot of product into the fryer at one time. You want to give them a lot of room to swim around so the oil can sufficiently cook them. And also, that way it keeps your temperature nice and even. I'm looking, you see this one has that nice golden brown. I want this golden brown like this all the way around. And again, the importance of consistency in your knife cuts is, again, because we want all our products to basically cook at the same time. I think this one's done. Take this out. This one's about ready. What I'm using here to drain the eggplants or fried products, I just have a pot here with a strainer. I don't like to use paper towels for the reason that if you use paper towels, which some people like to do, it does collect the oil, but also your products are sitting on a paper towel that is now saturated oil, and I think a lot of times the oil goes right back to your product. Whereas if you have something set up like this, it just drains right through. All right, we're going to turn this off. I'm going to bring this wok over here. We're going to do our sauce next. I'm going to take these away. I'll be right back. I'm going to clean as I go. All right, now we're going to do our sauce. So we have our chicken stock. We have sesame oil. Probably, I don't need all of that. We have our hot bean curd. Just going to give us some nice heat as well as garlic, salty garlic flavor. So already you're thinking we've got sesame, chicken stock, our spicy bean curd paste, brown sugar. So look, we got spicy, garlic, we got sweet, we got salty right here coming from our dark soy. We have our rice wine vinegar, which is going to give us sour. You're thinking, gosh, this almost sounds like Southeast Asian because, you got hot, sour, spicy, sweet. Going to mix this together. We're going to add our cornstarch, and again, our cornstarch is our liaison, our thickening agent here. I'm going to set this aside. Use a whisk. We're going to get this nice and mixed. And again, as in all Asian cooking, our thickening agent is most of the time cornstarch. So here we're incorporating our cornstarch straight into it with our chicken stock. And as we all know, that when we use cornstarch for a thickening agent, as soon as it gets to boiling temperature, it's going to begin the thickening process. So as you can see, this is a pretty easy sauce. Right from here, we're going to go straight to our wok, which is awaiting us. It's very hot. This should immediately get thick. Oh, yeah. That's it. So there you go. See how that thickened up really quick. I'm going to bring this over here. We have our eggplants. I think what we're going to do, we're going to do two things. We're going to do a little of the sauce right here on the plate. Oh. And there you have it. This is our Szechuan stuffed eggplant. Enjoy it.